What's up guys, Aspect here. I just wanted to show you quickly my build in Wolcen. I'm doing 187 runs with this build. Uh, it works pretty good. Just wanted to show the skills necessary for this build. You need to have Trail Bird with this build. It helps a lot to clear like big groups of monsters. Alright, so first two necessary skills are Salvatory Anchor and Elevated Gain. Those two skills give you bonus from your armor and helmet. Gives you resistance bonus from your armor and the helmet. So basically, if I have here more than 1000 resistance on this armor, if you see all my resistances are around 13k, if I take it off, it goes half. It goes almost half. So only if you have the, you need to use. I guess if you want, you can use more. But for me, I'm using only armor for resist and only helmet for resist, because those two skills give me a buff for those resistances. Let's go. So those two are pretty necessary for this build. Another two are over here, little skills, but gives you a lot with that build. This one, Holy Gift, gives you health group generation, 4%. This heals you a little bit more. This one, Blessed Mana, gives you a buff from picking up health growth for resistances, so that's really good. Downpew Striker is pretty good as well. It basically means that all the monsters that are below 15% health gonna die straight away if you have that skill, and if you have sacred damage in your skills, which probably you will have. And if you put this point, it kills also champions, with the addition to underling and specialists. This is buff to occult damage. It's pretty good. It gives you a little bit of extra damage on the monsters. This one is necessary. It gives you a little bit, a lot of spell critical chance. Here you have critical chance. It's not necessary, but I have it. Gives me pretty good boost for critical chance score. There's dire juncture, really important. So basically, if you have this spell on, you don't take the whole damage straight away. You take only 40% of the damage on the start, and then the rest of the damage 1 second after it. But in that time, you should be able to heal up yourself and recover from that damage. So it's pretty good spell to have. This one is pretty good because if you use one of the spells, which is very popular, called Anomaly, the Anomaly gives you status as a base element. So this spell, which time cannot heal, gives you 100% of the hit damage again after 1.5 second delay, which is really good. What we have here, this is pretty important. Gives you a lot of protection. So it gives you basically 10 points per couple seconds. So if you see here, I have 10 points. That gives me a little bit of damage reduction from hits I'm getting. Really good skill. This is as well pretty good, but it's up to you if you want to have it. I've put it on because I used to have lifesteal. I used to have lifesteal. I thought it's very good. It's very important to have. But because I changed my build a little bit with the health globe combo, which I show you in a second, those spells are pretty good with that build. Immortal Offering, really important as well, gives you a lot of damage buff from the spells you're using. So if you kill an enemy that is afflicted with ailments, gives you a temporary damage increase buff, which can go like 200% damage extra or something like that. Grievous Afflictions, pretty good as well, gives you extra element you can put on your opponents. So basically if your poison spell deals only poison damage, now can also deal shock or from lightning damage or something like that. So we have those, we have this, we have this, that, okay. Element Chain Score, really good as well with this build. This is pretty good as well. Damage over time trigger with critical hit, deals critical damage, which is very good. And I think that's about all of my skills. Let's see. Alright, I think we're looking good here. So I'll just go quickly through the spells. The first burst here of Ethiel. You want to have those two for sure put on, which this because you don't get element stack from frozen damage. I don't know why, from cold damage in this game. So you want to transfer it into fire, which will be looking like this. It gives you some damage over time. It's pretty good. And also this one changes this. So those two spells need to be here. If you want to, here you can play a little bit. I put some critical damage, I put some extra average damage, and here as well. You have delay, you have critical chain score, we have a couple other things. Up to you, those two are necessary. Then we have Plague Burst. There's one important rune in that skill which you need to have, which is Noxious Smoke. Leaves a poisonous cloud when an enemy or friendly summon dies, dealing damage over time. And this spells makes explode monsters, drink poison damage, and it works great with Trialbelt. If you have Trialbelt, you use this spell, you use these runes, pretty good. Increase area of effects, because we want to get more minions in the damaging area. This grace allows skill to be cast to the location of the cursor, so we don't need to go to the minions and to the monsters and cast it. We can cast it from wherever we are. Basically here we can put there, and then we go bound, three spells. So basically if you use those 3 spells, the monster probably at this time gonna die. If you when you're gonna try to reach them, they're probably gonna be dead soon. So then we have Anomaly, which is really good spell. Brings you all the monsters together to the one place. You want to have a couple runes here on the spells. Event Horizon, enemies are damaged when they are pulled into the vortex, pretty good. Echoes of Infinity, the skill's vortex pulls into enemies multiple times, which is also important. This one is the must-have rune with that build. Glows put into the damaging vortex explode. Dealing some extra damage for us is pretty good. And I think we need to have this one on. Chance for explosions to drop a health globe. So this build is mostly around health globes, and the health globes dealing damage to the enemy. So you want to have this one on, and then you want to have this one on. Alright, so those two must be on with that build. Then we have warrior skill, Sovereign Shout. You also can play around with it a little bit. Some gives you buffs to block, some gives you some runes gives you buff to all res. I don't have actually. Maybe I should put all res on. I have weakness, stun chance, longer duration of the buffs, and effectiveness of the buffs as well. But most important one is this one, Rallying Cry. Increases chance of health globes spawning while this skill is active. So we get 6% extra of health globes dropping. Very important. Then I got Other Jump. This one, preference up to you. If you want to use something else, it's fine. If you want to use Golem, it's fine. To get some extra damage decrease. This guy. I'm using Ether Jump just to move around quicker, avoid some situation where I cannot leave because monsters are blocking me or something like that. Then last spell is Bleeding Edge. I used to use Infinity Blades, but I realized this spell is really good and have really good damage. And I set up skills more or less how I think is good, so I give a little bit of damage, critical damage. This one allows me to cast the spell as I move. The axes follow me as I move. So let's see if I use this now. Normally it stays, but because I have that rune, it follows me. I have some reduced rage cost, some extra weapon damage, skill duration crits, and increases area of effect. Okay, so that's about it. That's all the skills. I talk about the tree, which one you need to have on. This one as well is pretty good. Increases damage for each enemy with melee range. So mostly you fight against big groups of monsters, so that gives you some extra damage. Also this one, 25% damage to enemies with impaired movement. So basically that means stun, that means shock, weakness, stuff like that. Some stuff from your spells. So it basically means that you're gonna get that extra damage every time, because anomaly slows down enemies. So whatever you cast anomaly, you're gonna get 25% extra damage dealt to these monsters. Alright, so that's the build. We have trail belt. Maybe I should... Alright, let's show you as well the runes on my trail belt, on my mark of impurity. So if you have that belt, you have 100% chance to inflict mark of impurity to an enemy when they are hit, which means it gives you that spell. All you need to do is put those 4 runes. Mark enemies are more vulnerable to damage. Mark enemies are inflicted with numerous stacks of cursed. Enemies killed while under the effect of mark of impurity explode and deal damage based on the target max health and in an area around them. So this is the most important rune. You need to have that rune. And mark of impurity spreads to surrounding enemies on the death of the target. Very important as well. Those 4, you put it on. Great. What are you looking for on weapon? My build is based around poison damage, so I did a lot of poison damage to get my second alignment as a poison. So base mostly I try to put everything into material damage or some just the damage, just the basic damage that it will give you buff to all the spells and attacks. So you can use this one as well. So material damage, you look for ferocity if you can, clean damage, crits damage as well, important. If you can do rings with the alignment stacks extra, that's pretty good as well. That's okay. Alright, I think that's about it. I will show you what we have here. Here I have a little bit spread, a little bit of ferocity, a little bit of toughness. But as you see, I don't have much health. I have just 40k health and 70k force shield. But because I have those, I put those resistance skills with armor and the helmet. It gives me, boom. Without those, look at my res. I have 2k res and 1.8k res. So if we're gonna put armor, we're gonna put helmet on, boom, 80%. Alright, we're gonna open it max level. I'm just gonna show you how it works. And yeah, try it. Let me know how it works for you. So to jump, cast all of that, shout, and that. I don't even need to use bleeding edge. I even didn't use bleeding edge. Go again, cast those three spells, and then shout, and then you can finish with bleeding edge as well, pretty easy. Now you might think, yeah, pretty good. It's just on normal monsters. Okay, let's find some big boss here. Oh, there we go.
That's not happening.
So let's see here how quickly they die. This is max level, by the way. Alright, this guy's there. Everyone's exploded. Even I get legendary. That's sweet. Small groups are a little bit tougher to kill than big groups with this build, so that's maybe only one minus in that build. So we don't want to. We want to take those guys from here and get him to that boss, and then cast all the spells. Then hitting edge, and everything dies quickly. Look at how the poison damage kills this guy. That's sweet. Alright, so that's about it. Let me know what you think about this build. I think it's pretty sweet. Works great. I didn't show you much of my gear, but mostly my gear is based with force shield. I have armor and helmet, which are res stats, and then rest of my gear mostly force shield. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.